welcome to the second episode of Limited Issues. I am one of your co-hosts, Chainsaw Reacts, Jordan. My other co-host, Logan.
Hello, everybody.
Probably the coolest slogan you'll ever meet.
Yes.
To be honest. We do these, what?
There's Wolverine, there's me.
Okay. Sorry, you're not the coolest Logan.
There's Wolverine, there's me, and there's Logan Paul. So I fall directly in the middle of that.
Let's be honest, Logan Paul is an amazing person. Kidding.
Okay.
Okay, so we usually do these. Well, this is our second episode, but the
Yes.
plan is to do 3 segments. The first segment is kind of what we're up to, our lives, and then the second segment is just our Act 2, as you called it.
Yeah.
Talking different topics, whether it's TV news, movie news, just anything in general
Video
we want
games,
to talk.
anything.
Yeah, anything that's popped off that we think we should talk about.
That we think is interesting.
Yes, and the third segment is going to be, of course, answering your questions, or if we don't really have any questions, we can just kind of talk about maybe some stuff that maybe we forgot to mention or something.
I was just going to say we can just let it peter out. And be kind of like a really pathetic ending, and then just be like, okay, bye.
Okay. Well, let's get into Act 1, if you will.
Yes.
So, since the last podcast, I finally got back into writing on the sequel to Darson, our Star Wars fan film we did. Getting back in just the groove of it, because I did a lot of writing after we premiered Darson, and then before we premiered Gordon, I did a lot of writing, and I just had to take a break. And I actually got a hold of our director, Carson, who's actually in Florida right now. And he was so excited to hear from me because I haven't heard from him in like a month. He's like, dude, I haven't heard from you in a month. I'm like, yeah. And so he was really excited to, what's going on?
Oh,
is
there
a question?
One of the questions, I don't know about you, but I couldn't fucking answer that.
There's no way to keep up with that. Sorry, I was wondering, like, he's looking at the questions because I posted about giving us questions. He's slowly dying, so if you hear any coughing throughout, he's going to try to cover that up as much as possible, because you got really sick last week.
Yes. If you listen to the first episode, you know that the plan for the podcast is to do it every 2 weeks. This one, it's been 3 weeks. We were going to do this last weekend, but then I died. And now I am a ghost. Hello.
Hello, ghost. But yeah,
Ghost.
You literally texted me like 2 minutes after I walked out the door.
Yeah.
And the text said, because I was going to get my hair cut, and the text said, I woke up, I'm dying, I don't know what's going on, I can't talk.
Yeah.
Because the night before you were saying you were feeling a little sick.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, like, if maybe he was going to get over it, because there's a virus going around and it's pretty shitty, but you're still dealing with it.
A little bit, yeah. I feel fine for the most part, but I can't seem to stop coughing, and I'm still very congested.
Now, that was my issue, too. I kept coughing a lot. I kept coughing nonstop. I didn't have exactly everything because I could still talk, just the throat hurt at a time, but coughing was a major problem. And that's the issue with, like, the weather here has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
It'll go 2 or 3 days being 30-degree weather,
right,
and then all of a sudden it's 60.
I saw something... one of my friends posted on Facebook, like, hey, does anybody know what season it's going to be today?
And the answer is we don't know, because it'll be like 29 degrees in the morning when I wake up, and then I look just to the weather, it says, it'll be like 65 at 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is... Okay, it's February. It's winter.
It was, I don't know about out here, but where I live, it was like 80 degrees a few days ago.
It was around 70 or so. We had to turn on the fans.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty bad. Today's not so bad, though. But
no, today's fine.
It is.
What else have you been up to?
Well, I had a major problem last night with Patreon.
Oh, yeah, you told me a little about it.
Not so much Patreon, but Google Drive, because I use Google Drive to upload my videos for Patreon users. And it takes about 20 some odd minutes to upload a 30-minute video, like a normal Avatar full reaction. It takes about an hour to convert, and then it's available to view, so I can then link it to Patreon for the people who pay and get access to it.
Right.
But it was claiming after spending all night had uploaded, it was basically saying 7 hours later, still don't, it's still processing. So I had to use another site to get it to work, and I was very, very annoyed, but I finally figured it out, but that really pushed back my schedule yesterday, so it was pretty annoying. And then work was just I don't want to get into that. Work was just a nightmare. Friday was usually good days. It was not. It was not a good day. It was not a good day. You've still been major thing happened in your life.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna be 22 in about 2 weeks.
Old fart.
Yeah. I got my license 2 days ago, my driver's license.
And he actually followed me in his vehicle, which
Yes.
you've had for what, 6 months?
9. I've had a car for 6 months, but I have not been able to get insurance until just recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been driving for almost 7 years. I've been driving since I was 15. I just never had my own car. I never had my own insurance.
And then by the time you actually get one,
yeah,
your dad dictated when you were going to get your license.
Yeah.
So you had to wait.
Right. Which... So, my dad doesn't know that I have my license yet.
He doesn't even know?
He doesn't know. Because he and my aunt got into an argument over it. Because I've had the car for 9 months. She's my landlady and my neighbor, by the way. I've had it for 9 months, and she's been pushing him to let me at least try to get my license.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying no, over and over. And so finally she said, okay, fuck it. She called me a few weeks ago. Said, come get the keys. We're going to Geico and getting you insurance. And then we're going to go get you your license.
Yeah.
So she's the one who helped me get it. My dad doesn't even know yet.
Is he going to be mad?
Probably. I'm waiting until my birthday to tell him. Because then it would be really shitty of him to get mad at me on my birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
And that is crazy, but, like, it's insane because when I was texting him about, meeting up today and doing this, I was asking, okay, so what time? He's like, well, what time do you want me over? I'm like, oh. Because it wasn't like, what time are you going to come get me? He's like, what time do you want me to come over? I'm like, what? It's like, oh, yeah, I got my license. Like, oh, okay. That changes everything.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, I mean, you were pretty good. You were very safe.
Yes.
You were following me. I actually had to stop because the light turned yellow. I had to stop because if I would have kept going, he would have GPS'd it, but I still would have felt bad. So I waited. But you were you didn't get too close to my car.
Yep.
I noticed that.
I always try to keep at least 2 car lengths between me and whoever's ahead of me because... Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah,
I noticed that. I'm like, he is being very safe. Either it's just because of the brand new... The fact that you're a newly licensed driver,
yes.
Or maybe he's always just going to be that way.
I'm pretty much always going to be that way, and that is mostly a learned habit because the last almost year or so that I've been practicing driving, because I've had my permit for years, but so my passenger was the aforementioned great aunt, who is 76 or 77.
Jesus.
So yes, driving with an elderly person in the passenger seat makes you inherently want to be very, very safe. So yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, for me, I was nervous getting my license because I remember at one point now, did you have to do this? Did you have to do where you are driving and then they tell you ahead of time you're going to go at a certain speed and then they're going to tell you to stop and you have to slam on your brakes full on. Did you have to do that?
No.
I had to do that.
That would have been bad.
No, that's exactly. I had to go 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then whenever the guy yelled stop, I had to slam on my brakes and completely stop the vehicle. And let me tell you, the jerky motion of going back and forth, holy crap, it was intense.
Yeah.
Because the idea was you're going 35 miles an hour down a street, a kid walks out in the road, and you have to slam on your brakes as hard as you can and stop that vehicle. Man, it was not easy because you had to put full force. I had to do that my second day of driving in high school.
Oh, yeah.
I was going down a hill, and it was around a blind curve. He's still dying. He's still dying. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Look at the audio bleep right there. Look at that. Oh, my God. Literally, it was around a blind curve, and literally this bus was stopped, and I had to slam on my brakes. And, oh, my God. Let me tell you, wake-up call is what that was.
Right.
Ooh, not good. How many we got? Oh, we got 4 questions now over there. He's updating and looking at the questions. But, yeah, it's been pretty intense.
2 of these questions we're probably going to
Oh yeah, we're definitely
answer pretty much early on and not in the question segment because it's just something we're gonna talk about anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but definitely, we'll make sure to reference the people who asked, so because they're wanting to know specifics. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much really it. I mean, just work and all that shit.
Other things for me. So Jordan.
Yes.
Let me pose a question.
Okay.
Maybe perhaps a bit of a philosophical question to you and to the listeners. Have you ever been really, really enjoying something, really loving it, really, you're in there, you're on board, it's great, and then something happens that ruins the entire experience for you forever? So I watched Glass.
Oh. I didn't know where this was going because I'm thinking, like, I remember at one point you're like, I gotta talk about Glass. I said, okay. Now, I'm guessing, because I have not seen, is it Unbreakable?
Yes, it's Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
I have not seen any of these movies. I've heard that Unbreakable is good. Split is good.
Yes.
Glass sounds like a mixed bag. Like, people either love it or hate it. And it's like, for me, like, nothing really brought...
Just doesn't grab your...
Even the Glass trailer, I'm like, this doesn't really look appealing, even though I haven't seen the previous movies.
Yeah.
You would think that I'd be at least curious. I really wasn't, and I heard it's a slow movie, and the third act really just...
It falls apart.
So bad. It
falls apart so hilariously... I don't even know how to put it into words. It's a spectacle. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
This fucking train wreck.
Really? A train wreck?
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so it's M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
He's the twist guy. There's always a twist in his movies, right?
Yep.
And I feel like he has become beholden to that to a point where
it has to happen.
It has to. Like if he makes a movie without a twist, it's like he thinks he's gonna fucking die.
Or he thinks the movie isn't as good because there's no twist to... Like, there's no twist to look at.
So, you're probably never going to watch these movies, right?
Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But my thing is, too, is that, like, if... Okay, it's a trilogy.
Yes.
Essentially. If the third film... the coughing continues. He's just going to die on podcast.
Yeah.
If the third film in the franchise is so divisive amongst fans, and the first two are so well received, even though they didn't realize at first that Split was a film within the universe.
See, now the twist in Split, right?
That the twist that it was set in the same continuity is a good twist.
At the very, very end.
Yeah.
I think it might even be a post-credit scene. I'm not sure. So...
Yeah, so I know that that's in there.
Yeah. The antagonist of Split is called the Horde. James McAvoy, he's 20-some-odd different personalities, so he's the Horde, right? And that's his supervillain name on the news at the end. And in the end, it cuts to a diner, these two girls are watching the news, and it's like, oh, the Horde has been captured. And they're like, oh, that's like that one guy 15 years ago that killed all those people. What was his name? Then it pans over to Bruce Willis, sips his coffee, and he goes, Mr. Glass. Cut into the movie, good twist.
Yeah.
Cool.
This twist,
I clapped when I saw it.
The twist in Glass you're saying is not. The look on his face, it's just like utter disappointment. Rubbing his hands on his face.
So, do you care if I spoil the ending of Glass?
Spoilers for Glass if you have not seen the film and you're going to. Go for it.
Spoilers. Okay. So, the first 2/3 of the movie...
I hear are solid.
Are great.
Okay.
I loved it. Really, really enjoying it. It, more or less, all of it takes place in this mental institution. Yeah. Where Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn, Mr. Glass, and James McAvoy. Yeah. They've been captured. They're being held, and this woman, the psychologist, I guess, psychologist, who specializes in an unnamed mental disorder where people believe they are real life superheroes. Right.
Okay.
She has been sent. She's been given 3 days to convince them that they're crazy, that it's all in their minds. And so the first 2/3 of the movie are she's running these different experiments, different tests. David Dunn's weakness is water. Like, he's pretty much invulnerable. He's super strong. But if you toss him in a pool, he'll die because he can't swim and
he's like an alien in signs.
Kind of. He has he has, I guess it's called hydrophobia.
Okay.
Because as a kid he almost drowned, and so well, if it's raining out, he's fucked up. He doesn't like it. That's why he wears a raincoat. If you've ever seen him.
Yeah. It's in the trailer, showcased in the trailer. He has that raincoat.
So she's running all these tests. They're having these really interesting, fascinating conversations. Mr. Glass, of course, behind the scenes, is sneaking out of his room at night, fucking around, setting things up for his evil genius plan. And I was really enjoying it. It is slow-paced, but it was really good. So the woman's plan is to kill them all.
That's her plan.
That was the end goal, because there's this secret organization that runs the world that just can't let the general population know that superheroes exist.
So superheroes do exist.
Yes, or well, super powered people exist, not like capes and tights or anything, but
just powered people.
Powered people do exist, but this secret organization apparently thinks that if the world knew that, they're Lex Luthor the company, I guess. You know what I mean?
It sounds like when people get their powers in the Flash and they don't know what to do with it. And
kind of.
They're like just walking around.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Team Flash is this organization trying to stop all these metas.
Right.
To stop from them spreading. But everybody knows about metas, so okay, are they just like afraid that the world is gonna like
they think the
fall
world
into
couldn't handle
anarchy?
It. Yeah, they think that people couldn't handle that knowledge.
Just like when people theorize that us as a government, or us as a people, the government believes we can't handle aliens.
Right.
That's why aliens have been shown, but I don't know.
Right.
Can we in society? I don't know.
So the big twist is that she was trying to convince them that they were wrong. Because she didn't want them to die. But if she failed in her mission,
she has to.
Then they have to kill them.
Yeah.
So they kill them all. Glass,
really?
David Dunn, and
they all die.
All dead.
What?
All just fucking dead in like a span of 2 or 3 minutes. They all die, one after the other, and they all die outside the hospital where it's being filmed. And she goes, kill them all. She goes in. She's like, delete that footage. And the guy's like, okay, I'll do it. Oh, what the fuck? What's this? Boop, boop, boop. Oh, it was all being live streamed to a secret protected server that we can't find. And she's like, what the fuck did you just say? And he's like, yeah. And then cut to David Dunn's kid, the girl from Split, and Mr. Glass's mom.
Yeah.
Who have received this footage, and then they've leaked it online. And they're sitting in a train station, looking at the people, and they're like, okay, yeah? And suddenly everyone, that fucking stupid cliche, everyone starts pulling out their phones and their tablets and everything, because the whole world apparently gets notified at once when some weird shit gets put online.
Yeah.
They're like, blah, 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 blah.
So instead of them organically like getting sent the footage or finding it on Twitter or something,
right,
they all somehow get notified like a text message to check your phone at this moment. Because you have a text message.
So,
does the footage show them using their powers and stuff? And okay, that's the thing.
Because James McAvoy, his superpowered personality, he can switch to a personality called the Beast, and his physiology,
where he's like screaming.
Yes, and his physiology changes.
Okay.
Like his biology changes. He becomes super strong. He can fucking Spider-Man across the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's cool to watch. He runs out of the hospital, cop car pulls up, he grabs it and just flips it over. David Dunn grabs him, throws him into a van. The van slides like 5 feet back because it hit it so hard. You see them using their powers. I don't know if I'm explaining this well enough, but so the first 2/3 is her trying to convince them that they were wrong.
Yeah.
That it's all in their mind. Mm-hmm. And it's working. David Dunn, like, he's like, oh shit, she's right, I'm not invulnerable. I've been risking my life trying to be a superhero. I'm just crazy. The Horde, some of the personalities start going, oh man, maybe the Beast isn't super strong. Maybe he doesn't have these abilities. That's fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
That is interesting to me. Because what if she was right? What if they actually don't have these abilities?
And they think they do.
And they just think they do.
Yeah.
She was convincing me, like, oh, fuck, maybe they don't have these powers. I would have loved if it just went that route and say she was completely right.
But
instead, no, just fucking kill them all because they do have powers, and the last hour and a half of a movie you just watched, none of that mattered. None of that mattered. Forget that. Put that out of your fucking mind.
So basically, it was all...
it was all for nothing.
All for nothing. Okay.
There's...
It honestly does... It sounds appealing the first two acts.
Yes.
But that whole thing of where they're all notified and that they're all pull their phones at that cliche and then...
There's an achievement in The Last of Us, which is my favorite game.
Yeah.
When you beat the game for the first time, you get the trophy titled, It Can't Be For Nothing.
Yeah.
That was me at the end of the movie. Staring at the fucking screen, going, it can't have all been for nothing.
So all that build up for nothing.
Exactly. Okay.
It was all set up for a twist.
It was all set up for a twist. It was a great build up to I didn't get to come. No climax.
Holy shit.
Oh God. I don't.
Do you feel better now about yourself now you've spilled out your guts about this?
Yes.
Because I mean,
this was very cathartic.
You were talking about this last week, saying you had to do this.
Yeah.
And now you're. Do you want to? You want to move on to some happier things in life?
Let's get into the news.
Do you want to jump into the Act 2?
Act 2.
Let's talk about the most recent thing that
Fuck
happened.
Glass.
There you go. Fuck Glass is the answer.
Okay, recent.
This is the most recent that dropped yesterday. Star Wars Episode 9 wraps shooting, which this is really exciting. Now, you pointed out that picture because you said Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac.
He looks like he's about to cry, and it's really depressing.
It really is. But, like, the fact is that JJ posts the photo, and then John Boyega does too. Mm-hmm. John Boyega apparently got a rifle or some kind of, like, blaster or something from Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm.
Probably his Stormtrooper blaster.
Maybe, yeah. Now, with all three of them being there, and apparently Adam Driver was there the last day. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of rumors and speculation of what's going to happen in this movie. There's even rumors this movie's going to be even more divisive than Last Jedi. But I don't know how that could... Unless they do something so drastic and so ridiculous. But my thinking is J.J. Abrams brought us back to Star Wars with The Force Awakens. Had some similar moments within A New Hope. Mm-hmm. But I think he did enough to introduce us to brand new characters and give us... even though we kind of saw it coming, Han's death.
Right.
But I don't know.
I loved The Force Awakens. I liked Last Jedi well enough. I liked certain parts of it I really loved. I loved all the Luke and Rey stuff.
I liked the fact that Luke wasn't just what you'd expect.
He wasn't this paragon of hope and goodness like he used to be.
If he was, I honestly would have been kind of bored.
That would have been boring.
Because that's exactly what people wanted him to do. I'm like, but that's not interesting. Like, if he's exactly as what you want him to be, which is what he was in 4, 5, and 6, then... where's the character growth? Because they showcase clearly his own nephew destroyed everything.
Everything he worked.
He built.
If you think about it, Luke, in A New Hope, Luke was, 17 when he left?
Roughly.
So pretty much his entire adult life, everything he worked towards.
Building the Jedi up.
Gone in an instant.
Now, he did go kind of gray Jedi-esque in Return of the Jedi with the full black and all that.
Right.
But he was doing everything he could. And I don't know how many people died in that process when Kylo changed.
I'm guessing quite a few. Because if you ever read the books, the old books that are now non-canon, but they drew from that. Yeah. He pretty much fully reestablished the Jedi Order.
Okay. So I just wonder how many people, but like the Knights of Ren, which was teased in Force Awakens, never mentioned Last Jedi. There's a big rumor, a big theory that what Rey saw in that Force vision in 7 was a flash forward sequence that's going to actually happen in 9, where he forms the Knights of Ren in between Last Jedi and 9, and that what she saw was actually something that happens in the future.
Right. Now see that... the thing I don't like about Last Jedi, my biggest problem with it, It's not the Finn and Rose stuff. It's nothing about that. It's not Princess Leia fucking Supermaning through space. Which I didn't. That was goofy. But all that aside, J.J. Abrams in The Force Awakens, he set up all these plot threads, and he set them up beautifully. And he said, okay, I've given you everything you need to make something fucking incredible. Here you go. Go do it. And then Rian Johnson comes in and says, nah, fuck that shit. Just fuck all that. We're not doing any of that.
He continued, but I think he took him in directions you weren't expecting. Right. He subverted expectations. That's the kind of phrase.
Yeah, because in the mystery setup in The Force Awakens is who are Rey's parents. Mm-hmm. And yes, you could have done the boring thing and just said, oh, she's Luke's daughter or whatever. Or you could have done something really cool and interesting with that. What did Rian Johnson do? Neither. I would have preferred the boring route.
There's even rumors that that's all.
I'm hoping
that Rey's vision of her parents are not even her actual parents.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm hoping J.J. Abrams comes back in and does the exact same thing Rian Johnson did to him and just says, nah, fuck all that shit. We're going back to what I set up.
I think the theory that, Kylo is not going to be the big bad, but it's somebody else,
right, is
interesting. Because, I mean, Snoke being killed, I think, was a nice twist just because I was like, okay, this is going to be just like the Emperor. Snoke's going to be the Emperor of this, and that's it. But they switched it up. They made it to where, no, Snoke really doesn't have a big part in this.
Well, there was that rumor that has since been proven false, and I believe this was started on another podcast, The Weekly Planet. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
I love I listen to it every week. I love it. They had an anonymous source send them this information because Matt Smith, 11th Doctor, is going to be in Episode 9.
Yes.
The rumor was that he was going to be a young clone of the Emperor, and that he
Palpatine.
Yes, and that he would have been running everything. That has since been proven false, but there could still be a young Emperor.
How's that been proven false?
It's just the people making the movie have been like, no, that's totally not what's happening.
I haven't heard anything about them claiming or anything.
Well, it was mostly just movie news sites being like, oh, hey, unverified rumor, but maybe this is happening.
Yeah. Because I haven't seen anything about them claiming proving false something. Because I feel like they're being so... Apparently, Hugh Grant, I think it's Hugh Grant, who's been a part of the film, like whatever the name is, I'm bad with names, said J.J. Abrams on the set is the only person that knows the title of 9. And if that's awesome. True, that is crazy. Yeah. Not even Luke's, because Luke Skywalker is going to be in this movie. I don't know what capacity.
I'm guessing Force Ghost.
Well, yeah, but I don't know how much. But who knows?
Going back again to reference those old books, that was an entire arc. Is that the Emperor had young clones of himself to continue running things.
So do you think that they might do that?
They could still do it. It's apparently not Matt Smith.
Would it be just, or could it be just be a clone of him and it's Ian McDiarmid back? I think that's the actor's name, right?
Yeah, Ian McDiarmid. Yeah. I'd like that, but it logically within that universe, it would make sense to clone a younger, stronger version of himself.
Or what if the Emperor never died?
I mean,
let's think about it for a second. He falls down after being thrown off.
He falls down that shaft.
Doesn't mean he's dead.
But then the Death Star that he was on blew up immediately afterwards.
True.
With him,
doesn't mean there's no way he could not have gotten out of there.
He could have, but at this point, it's been, 30... There's probably going to be a time jump, so 30, 40 years since then, and he was already...
an old man.
At least in his 70s, right?
It's Star Wars.
So, true,
my thing, though, is, like, if they pulled a twist to where the Emperor is still alive, or it's a clone situation where the clone is still Ian McDiarmid, I would love that. I think that'd be really cool.
They could just de-age him.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, that could be cool.
And they've done de-aging stuff before. Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious to know, because all of Carrie Fisher's scenes in 9 are going to be
stuff from
unused
7.
Footage, right? It's going to be really interesting to see how they can take stuff from 2 movies ago that they didn't use and work it in.
It's JJ, so it's stuff that he wrote, so it would probably fit. And I won't be surprised. I will not be surprised or shocked if some stuff they have to digitally create Leia to fit into the sequence.
As long as it looks better than Leia at the end of Rogue One.
Now, I think Tarkin looked great.
Tarkin looked fine to me.
I thought he looked great compared to the fact that I didn't even know he was in the movie.
Right. We were talking about this at lunch earlier. We were talking about Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, Alita looks too weird.
She is a new level of grotesque, uncanny valley to me. But any kind of uncanny valley makes me really uncomfortable.
That first trailer steered people away. Yeah, because how she looked.
But so Tarkin in Rogue One, he looked fine, but it was still uncanny valley, and I was still like, oh, I don't like. I mean,
obviously, I could tell it wasn't, but it was at the time.
But then you see Leia for that 2 seconds at the end, and it looks like she's fucking melting.
I wouldn't say that. I thought she looked pretty fun, and even Carrie Fisher gave it a thumbs up because she was shown it before she died. That because she didn't even realize that they were doing that.
Right.
But I'm definitely excited for episode 9.
I'm very excited.
I'm hopeful that JJ closes it out in a perfect way.
And then after this, don't do another trilogy for a long time.
Well, they're not going to do another sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Now, I guess we'll talk about this next because it does tie in a little bit. The Game of Thrones prequel pilot to shoot in the summer. Now, it's not Benioff and Weiss who did Game of Thrones.
Oh, that worries me.
Well, it's not them.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because they're moving on. They're doing supposedly a trilogy of Star Wars films.
Yeah.
So that's where the tie-in came in because they're doing the prequel. But it's been coined as The Long Night, that it's going to be the birth or essentially the beginning of the White Walkers.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a huge cast lined up already of people.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny how they're going to shoot the pilot. They already kind of know they're doing it, so why don't they just go ahead and just shoot the show?
Yeah.
Just shoot a season and just do it because Game of Thrones is so well loved. I would think a lot of people are going to tune into a prequel show that's dedicated to because we're essentially going to be seeing humans and White Walkers and his death cough that he has clashing together.
But then,
so I would like to see the beginning of that.
Therein lies the problem with prequels, though.
Oh, just like Star Wars.
Just like Star Wars.
Yeah.
So if the prequel series is about the beginnings of the White Walkers, right?
That's the theory. It's not confirmed.
Yeah, but if it is that, Game of Thrones is ending this year, and for better or worse, we are going to see what becomes of the White Walkers. I'm pretty sure they're going to be defeated.
Or they're going to continue in some other fashion.
Right. But regardless, we will know their fate. So then watching this prequel series, why do I care? Why should I care about what's happening? Because I know how this is going to end.
That's true. I honestly don't... I don't think they're going to completely destroy the White Walkers.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be completely destroyed. I think it's going to be to where they stop the Night King, but something will be shown that the White Walkers are truly not gone.
Right.
That there's something still at play here.
The only thing I really want out of Season 8 of Game of Thrones is to get motivation for the White Walkers. I want to know why they do what they do. Oh,
so you want some sort of like reasoning to why they're...
I want to know what their motivation is. What is their goal? What is their plan?
Do you think the Night King is going to speak? Because like I've been asking that for a while. Is the Night King ever going to talk?
I'm sure he is capable of speaking, but I doubt he speaks English. You know?
Well, so you think he's going to speak, but it's going to be like
an ancient dead language. Yeah, probably.
It'd be subtitled.
And none of the human living characters will be able to understand him.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be a good twist because then he could be talking all day about his plans. They have no idea what he's saying. Maybe what's the red woman? What's her name? The red lady?
Melisandre.
Yeah. What if she could understand it?
That would be interesting.
Maybe that'd be cool because she was banished.
You're right.
So that'd be a way for her to come back, as if she had to translate what he was saying.
I'm fairly certain she's going to die in Season 8.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people are going to die. I think throughout the season, people are just going to get murdered.
Her in particular, to me, is practically confirmed because of that line she had last season. What's his name? Eunuch, bald monk. Varys.
Yes.
Yes, her line to Varys, which is, he said you probably shouldn't have come back, and she says, I have to die in this strange country just like you.
Yeah, that was kind of odd, but it
So I'm pretty sure she has foreseen her own death.
Okay, so she already knows how she's gonna die.
Probably, I'd say.
Okay, so she can't go too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool that we're getting another show. And there's other spin-offs that they're looking at, but they're only focusing on this one first.
Right.
Which I guess makes sense. Out of these, which one do you want to talk about next? I know there's. Okay, so he had to look at it for a little bit on the phone here because I got a list of topics. So they're doing now. Apparently, this is just them only doing the first one. They are rebooting. They are rebooting Child's Play. Now, apparently, the company behind this reboot only have the rights to the first film, and apparently they're still continuing Chucky stuff with the TV series and with the original creator. But this is the studio's attempt at rebooting this franchise, but they only have access to the first film. So if they were to do like a sequel or hypothetically to Child's Play, then they would have to. Like, they can't cover anything that's been done in the other movies because they don't have rights to them. But I don't know. So maybe they don't have a right to do a sequel. They only have a right to do this.
I'm a big fan of horror.
Yep.
And the horror genre, especially horror like Child's Play that becomes a parody of itself eventually.
Nightmare on Elm Street did the same thing.
Exactly.
And Jason did too. Yeah. Halloween is really the only one that hasn't, besides the fact that they had a terrible concept with that webcam thing.
Right.
Yeah. With Resurrection.
So, Child's Play holds a special place in my heart because it was the first R-rated movie I ever watched when I was a kid.
Yep.
A very young kid, like 4 or 5.
Jesus.
So I probably shouldn't have been allowed to see it, but I love the franchise. I know it's garbage, it's schlock, it's trash, but I love it.
Yeah.
And I've really been enjoying these recent sequels that have been coming out the last few years, continuing the original franchise.
They're just self-aware at this point.
They're self-aware. They're goofy as hell. The last one, there were like 15 Chuckies running around because he found a way to split his soul and, like Voldemort, and create other versions of himself. Essentially, basically. Horcrux. And it's funny. It's gory. It's just good schlocky fun.
Yep.
And I was really excited about them continuing with that. I guarantee you, this is a promise.
Yeah.
You can put money on this. This Child's Play reboot is going to be dark. And gritty.
I thought you were going to say it's going to bomb.
It's going to bomb.
It's going to,
sure.
You think it's not going to make money?
It's not going to make any fucking money.
Now,
but it's going to be realistic and dark and because you know the concept of it, right?
Yeah,
it's no longer. What I mean is,
they're changing the origin of how Chucky was created.
It's no longer a serial killer using voodoo to put his soul in a doll. It is a little robot doll.
It's a virus
that gets a virus, becomes artificially intelligent, and starts killing people. It's going to be full of jump scares. It's probably going to be PG-13.
Did they not rate it with that first trailer?
I don't know. I don't remember.
He commented on my reaction to the trailer, and I could just tell just by reading it.
Yeah.
Man, you were not pleased. You were not pleased. For me, it's like, okay, some of the shots, okay, it's probably, a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
It's probably dark and gritty and,
It's going to take itself so seriously that it will fall into the bad kind of parody by accident.
Because it's taking itself too seriously to the point where you can't take it seriously.
The people making this are going to treat it like it's cinema.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas the people making the original franchise, at a certain point, they were like, oh, this is really fucking goofy and weird. Let's just have fun with this. Now, let's not take it too seriously.
The Halloween reboot, in quotes, that they did with Jamie Lee Curtis returning and all that.
Yeah.
Now, that was successful, I think, because of the story element of it's only following the original, and then it's just jumping to the 40 years later. With this, it's like, if they're changing up the origin... Now, I think the reason why they might have changed the origin of Chucky in this one is because they don't have the rights to do...
Which is understandable.
The similar storylines that they're doing now with the current run.
Yeah.
And I mean, I mentioned this in the... I mentioned this in the in my video I did for it is that the original creator and a couple of people were asked to be involved and have their name on it, and they said no.
Which I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I
wouldn't
understand
want anything to do with it
because they're annoyed that the company who owns the rights to the first film wants to do this reboot, and they do not like what they're doing with the approach. What are you laughing at?
Okay.
What are you laughing at?
So, this is just an aside. I love when a franchise runs for so long.
It just has multiple timelines.
That it has multiple timelines, but the titles of the films start... Like, there are only so many different subtitles. There are only so many numbers you can tack on. Let me read you the complete list of every Halloween film. Okay. Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Yep.
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Yep.
Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween H2O, 20 years later. Halloween Resurrection.
They should just call it Halloween 20 years later, not H2O.
Halloween Resurrection.
Yep.
Halloween.
Yep.
Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Halloween.
So, okay. Let's so going through this, let me try to break this down. So Halloween 1 and 2 back to back.
Yep.
They tried it. Do you know the origin of Season of the Witch? Why they did that?
Yes.
They did. They tried to get away from Michael Myers.
They tried to get away from Michael Myers.
And they wanted every Halloween film after that to be a different type of story.
Right. And then Halloween 3 comes out. It bombs. People fucking hate it. And they're like, oh, Michael Myers is the reason these movies are successful.
So they did The Return.
Yes.
Revenge. Now, this is where the titles get a little bit weird. Halloween 5, The Revenge of... Like, you don't have to put Michael Myers in the title.
For 3 films straight, it's the blank of Michael Myers. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, I believe that's the one with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, and that's the one where they have 2 versions, the producer's cut and the theatrical.
Yeah.
Now, the producer's cut has that more of the mythological, him being this, like...
The demon Sam Hain is possessing him or something.
Or something to the effect of that the reason why he can't die is because he's like
the Antichrist, basically.
Something, yeah. I like that direction better than the theatrical cut where they cut a lot of that out, because at least it explains why he can get shot by a rocket launcher and not die. So
why he can get run over. I think Jamie Lee Curtis in one of them, she runs him over, backs up over him, and then runs him over again.
It still doesn't do anything.
And he just gets back up.
H2O, 20 years later, is a really dumb title.
Yes.
Halloween Resurrection.
Really dumb movie, too.
Okay, Halloween Resurrection. Now, here's my thing. The reboot Rob Zombie films, Halloween, Halloween 2, just copy and paste of the first 2 titles.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 got a little more psychedelic, a little more trippy and interesting, but
I didn't like the whole idea of he was seeing his mother and a horse, and it's really... I don't get that shit. At least when they did Halloween, the reboot last year for 2018 with Jamie Lee Curtis returning, at least...
I really expected them to call it Halloween 420.
Oh, 420.
Fucking... H4O.
H4O, 40 years later. They should have done that. But, yeah, they could have definitely fixed the titles.
Yeah.
The titles...
It just really cracks me up. Because you have Halloween, Halloween 2, then Halloween, Halloween 2, and then Halloween.
Halloween.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, titles are getting a little...
It's goofy, and I really like it.
They're looking at doing a sequel, obviously.
Yeah. Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Officially done as Batman.
Now, there's even more to this, because now he was on Jimmy Kimmel this week.
I saw that he was, and I saw that he said something, but I don't know what.
So, well, first of all, the news is that we're getting a Batman movie in 2021.
Another water.
Okay, he's going to grab another water, because he needs it, or else he's going to die.
I mean, I'm going to die regardless, but, you know.
So, to kind of explain it, so we're getting a Batman movie in 2021, Matt Reeves. It's going to be a younger Batman. Ben Affleck was quoted as saying that he is no longer portraying the character. He's moved on. Yeah. Now, Jimmy Kimmel, what you said you saw, but you don't know exactly what was said. Mm-hmm. So, Jimmy Kimmel asked him straight up, so I heard about this thing, that you're not going to be Batman anymore, blah, 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 blah. And then they brought out a cape and cowl of his. It has a number... and his name on the back of like a jersey, and they hang it up in the rafters, and Jimmy Kimmel asks, is there anything you want to say, put on the record or whatever? He looks at the camera, I'm not Batman.
Right.
And then that's kind of it. He says he's not, he did a spin, because the spin he did was that he couldn't get a story down right. He couldn't crack the story. He had a great screenwriter to help with him, but he just couldn't crack a story. There's a guy who has directed a bunch of the animated movies like Justice League, Flashpoint.
No. Okay.
His name is Jay Olivia, I believe. He directed Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox, Justice League War, Justice League Dark. He's done a bunch of these animated.
Did he do Throne of Atlantis?
I think so as well. But regardless, he's done a bunch of the more recent animated stuff,
right?
Like New 52 stuff and all that. So he also does the storyboarding for a bunch of these, for like all the DC feature films that they do. And he went on Twitter around September, I think, of 2018, and he was asked about it. And he straight up said in a tweet, and it's still available to see, he says the Ben Affleck Batman script was the best Batman script I've ever seen.
Wow.
And you guys would have loved it.
Yeah.
And just seeing how Ben Affleck himself was posting that test footage of Deathstroke.
Right.
Joe Manganiello in the suit. And we saw that suit at the end of Justice League. Clearly, there was some sort of setup.
Which I'm sad we're probably fucking never going to see that version of the character.
Unless he is going to be in Suicide Squad 2 with James Gunn.
Yeah.
But
doubtful, but...
It is doubtful, but there's a shot. But... Because I think the reason why this was such important for him to say on Jimmy Kimmel that he's not Batman anymore is because there were still people holding out hope that they're going to cast a younger Batman for the flashback films for Matt Reeves, but Ben Affleck's going to continue as Batman in the present.
Right.
Yes. They're pretty much telling you no.
Yeah.
He's not. And we're probably not going to see Batman in the present day for quite some time, and when we do, it's going to be somebody else.
It is sad because I don't like Batman v Superman. I didn't like Justice League, but I liked him. He was the best part of BVS. Now,
have you seen the Ultimate Cut of BVS?
No.
You have to. It'll change your perspective on that movie.
Yeah.
I think it will. At least for me, because I think the theatrical cut, at first when I saw it, loved it. Then I saw the Ultimate Cut. I'm like, wait a minute. This is actually the movie that I was supposed to see, not the theatrical cut. Because they actually cut 30 minutes out, clearly. They rearranged and moved scenes around.
That I did know.
So that's the problem, is that they moved scenes around that were not cut, but then they cut out 30 minutes that you really need to see. It is kind of a bummer, but
at the same time,
he deserved a shot.
He deserved a shot, and I feel like Warner Brothers has gotten its shit together in recent years.
But late.
I should say in recent years.
In recent year, because Aquaman was a $1 billion film, and if they would have figured this out sooner, Ben Affleck would be directing Batman.
Right.
But they didn't figure it out.
He was cast in like 2013, right?
Yep. 2013.
So they had 6 years essentially where they could have done great things with him. But all the studio oversight, all the fucking directorial bullshit. He got 2 movies and a scene in
Suicide Squad. Like 2 small little...
I was going to say a scene in another movie, but I mean, Suicide Squad is a clip show, basically.
Like a music video.
Kind of, yes.
My thing is, too, is like if you watch that the very first trailer...
For Batman v Superman?
Justice League. That is Zack...
looked amazing.
That's Zack Snyder's Justice League before Joss Whedon came in, and that's before Joss Whedon in the studio came in and did all the changes.
And okay, so what happened with that? Zack Snyder suffered a personal tragedy in his family, and so he
stepped off.
He left filmmaking for a while. I feel like they should have. I would have been completely fine if they just delayed it, if they just stopped.
And the reason why they didn't,
for him to be able to come back.
The reason why they didn't, is because
Money.
Kevin Tsuchihara, the president of Warner Brothers, he pushed it out to get a bonus on his check for the end of the year, because he didn't know if he was going to be there the following year due to I forget what company bought out Warner Brothers, but a company bought out Warner Brothers, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be there in 2018, so he pushed it out in 2017 for an extra bonus. But the spin is that they claim when Joss Whedon was brought on, he was going to be directing the reshoots Zack Snyder wanted.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Zack Snyder did not want those type of reshoots. It's what Warner Brothers wanted, not Zack Snyder.
It was so poorly done down to a point where you can tell visually which scenes are directed. The color grading, changes.
I feel bad because Jeff Johns, who is a god amongst comic book creators and writers, he tweeted out about Doom Patrol, which we'll talk about next.
Yes. Actually, next I have some video game news.
Oh, video game. Okay.
Yes.
But we'll cover Doom Patrol in a bit. But he put a tweet out about Doom Patrol. The first response to that tweet that pops up is a shot-by-shot comparison of Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder shots. Yeah. It pops up, and I feel bad because he's just sitting there trying to promote, Doom Patrol. Like, he was a part of that. He brought the Doom Patrol into Titans. Like, that was his whole thing. He wrote Titans. I think he was writing on Doom Patrol, and then he's sitting there, and he's getting bombarded with release the Snyder Cut. And it's like, he doesn't have access to the Snyder Cut. Right. Zack Snyder clearly has something because he released a recent photo of Ezra Miller in the Flash suit. That came out. It was never been released before. So Zack Snyder still has access to stuff that we haven't seen yet, and so I feel bad for Ben because Ben could have put out a Batman movie in 2015 or 2016, the same year as Batman vs Superman, and it didn't happen due to whatever scheduling reasons. Yeah. Because when they announced that slate back in 2014 of Suicide Squad, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, there was no Batman or Superman in that lineup.
Which it's
ridiculous.
I think I even said this on the last podcast. What they should have done, it would have been so easy. Do Man of Steel. Yep. Do a solo Batman movie. Yep. Do Man of Steel 2, Doomsday. Okay. Kill Superman at the end of that. Okay. Wonder Woman. Yeah. Aquaman. Justice League.
Yeah. There you go.
That order.
Then Superman comes back in Justice League.
In Justice League, yeah.
I would say in the middle of the movie, and when he's brought back, the black suit, all of that. Beard, mullet, all
Justice League.
The classic black suit.
And that in that universe, that Justice League movie should have had nothing to do with Apocalypse. Nope. The villains, plural, should have been the Supermen. Oh. They should have done Reign of the Supermen, and the Justice League has to come together to stop them.
Okay. Right. I was thinking personally, if they would have done the same continuity, that the Batman vs Superman would have happened, but no Doomsday. Doomsday would have been the first villain. Right. And then they could have teased Apocalypse at the end. True. But like Doomsday, instead of fighting Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, you fight the Justice League. That would have been more of an interesting fight, in my personal opinion, than what they did. But anyways, Ben Affleck is supposedly done. Yep. And it is really shitty.
But at the same time, this is the movie industry. This shit changes all the fucking time. Who knows, maybe 5 years from now, Warner Brothers will come to him and be like, hey, Ben, I know you said you're done. Here's $60 million. Will you be Batman in this thing?
Yeah, will you be Batman in this Justice League 2?
Right, and then he'll be like, sure, fine, whatever.
If they announce Justice League 2, they have to bring back Ben. I would think they would have to. It'd be too weird if they bring back Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, which I feel bad for Ray Fisher because they announced a Cyborg movie. It's not happening clearly. Cyborg's on Doom Patrol. He's not. I don't think he's going to return. Right. I don't, unless they do another team up movie, which I don't see them doing for quite some time due to all of the changes they're doing with Walter Hamada coming in as the DC film president, making changes. Yeah. And Justice League bombing. And with you dying from your cough, it's a lot. It's a lot. But anyways, what was your gaming news before you die, there, boy?
I'm not gonna get too into this, but so Activision Blizzard, makers of Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, I believe.
Activision Blizzard.
Their partnership.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Right. The partnership,
which I believe has recently ended, but that's not what I'm talking about. So Blizzard, last week, I believe, laid off 800 employees.
Jesus.
Massive layoff. Game developers, designers, programmers, all those kinds of people. They laid off 800 people. After a record-setting year in sales, they made more money this past year than they ever have before.
And they laid off 800
And they laid off 800 people. But, and I forget his name, one of the higher-ranking, CFO or whatever, one of those higher-up guys, newly hired. So there's this thing in business and industries, it's called a sweetener. Right? When you hire a new corporate managerial whatever guy, you give him a sweetener, which is like a bonus. So this recent hire got $20 million. A $20 million sweetener just before they laid off 800 people.
Now, breaking year.
Yep.
Record-breaking money year.
Yep.
Because Overwatch is massive.
Yep.
And they lay off 800 people and give this guy $20 million.
Yep.
Plus whatever he's making there at the company. Right. Is this guy like Jesus? Or is he like the... Is he a magician who can magically make video games by himself?
This is...
Now,
aside from Fallout 76, this is the most nonsensical thing that has ever happened in video games.
Man, Fallout 76 is getting slaughtered. But did they give an explanation to why they laid off 8? No. Jesus, I didn't even hear about this. My ear is not lower to the ground for video game news. But that is very surprising that literally 800
it's
people...
nonsense. It's nothing about it makes sense.
That's ridiculous.
Anyways, I just want to mention that, say how shitty that is, and off chance if any of you guys that got laid off happen to come across this, I'm fucking sorry, man.
That is ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Okay.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
I think we can just jump right into that.
So a few people asked if we were going to talk about it. One guy asked if you were going to react to it.
No. I already said no, I'm not.
Yes, Boxing Fan asked if you were going to react. No.
No. Let's see here.
Aldo N.
Asked about it.
We're about to talk about it. And the Gotham Knight, we just talked about Affleck's exit.
Yes,
so
who should put on the cowl next? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But to people asking about Doom Patrol, because Doom Patrol dropped, as of recording this, it dropped the day before.
Yep.
This is Saturday, the 16th of February. It dropped on the 15th.
Yep.
First, before we jump into the episode, which I, by the way, really enjoyed it. We talked about this over at lunch. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
My issue is that they waited till the day before to drop a trailer, like a full trailer. Like that was my biggest problem. I'm like, what are you guys doing? But man, does this episode dive into... Now, this is... I'm going to say it's non-spoiler just because I want people to see it. But man, they really dive into some major, like, things that are going to be covered. And it's really emotional. Wow.
And it does something. I said this to you last night.
Yeah.
It does something that I've never seen in any other movie or TV show or anything.
And I was wondering what you meant by that. And then he told me, I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
It is a nice twist. Because I'm like, oh.
You guys will see what I mean. It's
the opening.
It's the opening.
The opening, it shows you immediately.
The very first thing you hear, I'll say.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's really interesting, and I really loved it.
Here's something I noticed too. Before the actual content, the actual title intro actually was a title intro.
Right.
Titans didn't have that.
Yeah.
And they actually released the title intro too. Like, here's the opening of like what not Titans, but what Doom Patrol is, and it shows you kind of like the title intro setup of the characers and stuff. And but Titans did not have that. It was just
very bizarre
with Titans, and that was it. But man, you immediately within the first couple of minutes feel horrible and sorry for Robot Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
They dive into his origin.
Well,
and they do a twist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's how this happened.
And it's a good twist.
It's actually a good twist. But the twist, I'm like, okay, this is how it happens. But in this, they show you what you think is the accident. And then they show you the actual accident.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
And it's bad.
And then they go through, and what I think is interesting, because you pointed this out, is that they cover a lot in this first episode, and they do, without it feeling rushed.
It doesn't feel rushed. It's not messy. It's all coherent. It's just surprisingly, impressively well done.
And the effects are pretty solid for the episode, and I think that they handled everything pretty well. It is, of course, TVMA.
Yeah.
It is definitely a mature show.
Oh, yeah. You see...
yeah.
You see a lot.
You see some things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think what's really telling is that they're not shying away from the like creepiness of some of it, like where like their origins or what they went through, or any
like because these people are freaks.
Yeah, and they don't shy away from that. They don't try to like play it off as something else. Like, they dive into how messed up these people are.
Right.
And
that's something else I mentioned to you, is that I hate almost all of these characters, but in a good way, because they're shitty people. They're awful people.
Yeah.
but in a way that it's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah,
it's
well, everyone except Larry. Larry is a goddamn sweetheart.
Oh yeah, well Larry. Now the Chief was recasted.
Yes, Timothy Dalton, former James Bond, is now the new Chief.
Did you see the movie Hot Fuzz?
Yes.
He was that store guy, which is awesome. I really love that. But he's pretty good.
So good, yeah.
Yeah, the first guy they cast for Chief in Titans. I did not like him.
I don't even remember what he looked like, to be honest.
He looked like had like just longish kind of hair, a beard, and his.
I remember he did not look old enough, but Timothy Dalton does.
He didn't look old enough, but I don't know. It didn't really like.
Yeah.
It didn't blow, like his performance didn't go, oh, okay, that this is actually good.
And also, it's strange because in that episode of Titans, the Chief does something pretty fucked up, and in this, they kind of just act like it didn't happen.
Yeah, or at least they've moved on because it seems like time has passed.
And I love all of their little interactions and just little things that would be easy to miss. Like, there's a moment when the Chief he goes out of town, right, for a few days, and they're all sitting watching TV, and he's like, "I'll be back in a few days," and Robot Man just goes, "Bye, Dad."
And the fact that Crazy Jane really adds because if Crazy Jane was in the Titans episode, I think it would have been more interesting. Yeah. But the fact that they held her off and waited till the actual show to introduce her into the mix, I think was interesting. I liked her personalities. I'm guessing we're going to see a lot more of that because they didn't spend too much time on the only character. They spent a lot of time on Robot Man at the beginning, but then they went off into the other like personalities in the house and all these other characters because it felt like Robot Man was going to be the main character, but he's not.
He kind of is.
Kind of.
I'd say he's the main.
I think it's because his story is most tragic.
Yeah,
is probably why.
Because if his story is the most tragic, Larry, Negative Man, did not deserve what happened to him. Rita kind of did. A little bit.
Yeah, Rita was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, more actually,
no, not kind of. She was just a dick. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. And didn't you said something on the lines in the text message last night of saying you felt like this pilot curb stomped Titans pilot.
I said my exact words were that this pilot is a fucking curb stomp from outer space.
Oh, okay, that's even bigger. For me, I mean,
the Titans pilot I really didn't enjoy it at all.
I did. I think just because I liked the fact that they were going in a different direction with Raven and Dick Grayson being a cop and being out of Gotham. I like the fact they did that. But I can see why, because this one handled the emotional stuff way better in the pilot than Titans did in the pilot. I think Titans got better as it went along.
Titans did definitely get better.
But I think that they handled the emotional bits and the slower parts in this pilot better than Titans.
Like I'd say in Titans, right?
Yeah.
First episode, you see a little girl's mother get shot in the head. And I didn't even flinch. I felt nothing. You know?
I don't think you were supposed to.
Right.
Just because she's not important.
Right.
Not real. Well, she's important to Raven. But to you don't care. You just want her out of that house.
Here you see a literal robot man have an emotional breakdown, and it choked me up. Like, it made me really fucking sad. In that instance, they should have focused more on the mother before she died in Titans. But I don't know. That's something else about Titans that I don't like. I like Tegan Croft. I like her portrayal.
Yeah.
I like this Raven. But I am so fucking sick and tired of the trope of superpowered people not understanding what they are or how to use their powers. What am I? Where did I come from? What is this? I understand that Titans had to establish the team, but almost I wish that every character had been established on their own already. Not necessarily like in their own show or movie, like I wish had happened with Justice League, but like I wish these characters had all been fully realized on their own prior to Titans, and then they come together, like in Teen Titans.
So, like, they're all being their own heroes,
or at least
doing their own thing.
What they're like. Beast Boy can only turn into a tiger because he has a mental block.
You're saying is you didn't want origin. You just want.
I don't want. any origin
You
story.
just wanted them to like be heroes on their own and then be
or
meeting
not
up
even
by
heroes,
accident.
just know what they're doing.
Or know what they are.
Or I wish, because Teen Titans,
well, I think
the animated series,
you're going to get that in season 2. Then you're going.
But I wish I had gotten it in season 1.
Understandable, but
like
me, I'm fine with setting it up because this is not because they had to establish this is not the Teen Titans animated show you grew up with in 2000s.
No, I know, but
like they did that because everyone wanted them to do that.
Right,
that's the problem.
Even in the comics as well, though, Raven is from day one. As soon as she's old enough to understand what she is told what she is.
Yeah,
it's like. Okay, I talked about Steven Universe a little bit last week, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's a great show, highly recommended, but the first couple seasons, Steven is a kid, and no one fucking tells him anything. The premise of the show is that Steven is half human, half alien. Mm-hmm. He's being raised by aliens from his mother's homeworld, right? And he goes, "Oh, what's this alien thing?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, shut up, don't ask." And he's like, "Okay. What's that alien thing?" "No, shut the fuck up. Don't ask, Steven. You don't need to know." I hate that.
Gotcha.
I hate that in fiction. When characters have information, and they could very easily
need to give it.
share that, and they just don't.
Gotcha.
Like,
blank.
Raven's fake mom,
Yeah.
right? She should have told her everything she knew. She should have told her fucking everything.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
There's some missteps. I think they're going to fix it in season 2. That's my hope.
So.
But they dropped the ball with the finale because that wasn't really a finale.
All that said, I did enjoy Titans overall. It sounds like I didn't, but I did like it.
Kind of veered off track from the Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol, yes.
Yes, anyways. But I really enjoyed the pilot.
Alan Tudyk as Mr. Nobody. Great. Just great. I love him. I can't wait to see more of this guy.
Definitely want to see more.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk anything else about this one, or do you just want to jump into questions?
Let's talk about the Hobbs and Shaw trailer.
Okay. So, this trailer dropped around Super Bowl. It's a little old, but it's whatever. Jesus Christ. The cough's he's literally just gonna...
Yeah.
The podcast should be just called The Cough.
Yeah.
Every 5 minutes, cough.
So...
But they've literally just went off the deep end with this. Because literally it went from racing...
and stealing DVD players.
To now...
To
saving the world. Now
saving the literal world.
Now it's superheroes.
There is a bulletproof man.
A supervillain.
Yes. Who is literally bulletproof.
Yep.
And Rock.
He threw the rock like he was nothing and dented the truck, which should have killed him, but alright.
Well, I mean, the Rock in this, he's Hobbs, right? I don't fucking know. Yeah, okay. So, the Rock in this is also superhuman, and this has been established since who knows, because he in whichever fucking one where his arm was broken, I don't know.
He still fought with it.
Yeah, apparently
he broke the cast.
His bones can knit back together when needed. So bone heals, and then he flexes so hard that he just broke his cast off.
Yeah.
But it's getting, and this is kind of a problem with The Rock in general with a lot of his movies. Is he's so goddamn big. Physically, he is so large
it's too much.
It's too much, and because it's too much, in a lot of his movies, the movie makers are starting to put his characters in more and more ridiculous situations. He jumps off a fucking skyscraper in this trailer, and I'm sure he's going to be fine.
Of course he is.
He's not a scratch on him by the time he hits the ground. It's nonsense. But I'm still going to go see it.
He was falling and grabbed a hold of a guy on the thing or whatever.
Right.
Like, so
but then
say he drops from there. Like he dropped at some point, landed on top of a car.
Yeah.
In 7.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's like you haven't finished Punisher season 2 yet, have you?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh no, I'm not. Never mind. I'm thinking of season 1. So you know this. There's the moment in season 1 where he grabs the fire hose and he jumps down the stairs. When that hose runs out and he gets caught, his arm gets dislocated, his shoulder's dislocated.
Yeah.
Practically almost rips his fucking arm off. That's what would happen. So The Rock jumps off of a skyscraper, grabs a dude. Whenever they get to the end of that line, it goes taut. Assuming he is able to hold on to the guy, realistically, physically, his arms should be ripped off of his body.
But this is the Fast and Furious world.
He'll be fine.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's make believe. It's movie. It's movie time.
I know, but man, it's so.
I understand. It's a little bit hectic. It's just the fact that they're going like they're bringing these two characters who hate each other.
Yeah.
Who were against each other, who fought each other in 7, all this kind of, and now they're in a spin-off movie, and now there's a supervillain.
I'm sure it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
at least in like a schlocky way.
Stupid fun.
But it's getting harder and harder to suspend disbelief with these movies. You know,
it's gonna make a lot of money.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's gonna make a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Do you want to jump to Act 3, sir?
Yes.
Okay. We got a couple of questions to dive in here. Let's see. Hannah Ray. Sorry about that, Hannah Ray. Do you
you know what? It's Hannah now. Your name is Hannah.
Oh, okay, you're Hannah. Do you plan on going to any comic conventions this year? I would love to go to Comic-Con San Diego.
Yeah, I would. There's no way I could.
Apparently, there's some sort of Comic-Con nearest couple hours that's going to be in June or July. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But I've never been to a Comic-Con.
I've never been to any
or
Comic-Con.
Any con event.
Yeah.
No, not really. And honestly, I'm kind of nervous too, just because I don't know how it's going to go.
Right.
Like, is it going to be, like, bombarded with people? Like, I know that it's a place for people like me and stuff, nerds and geeks of these shows and movies and comics, but I don't know how it's just going to go overall as an experience, because I've just never been to something like that. But unfortunately, no, I am not. Anything you found out there?
What do we think of Gotham's finale season so far? We talked about it a little bit earlier. I'm really, really loving it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we don't know anything about the finale because it's just it hasn't aired.
The finale season.
Finale season so far.
R4PID asked.
Yeah, I'm really digging it. That's the version of Rapid, I guess. R4PID though, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Well,
but anyways, I'm really, really loving it. I think that they're going even crazier than normal, just because it's the last season. And I think the reason why they have 12 episodes is because it is the 100th, so that they do get that syndication. Right. That they can't, because my guess is Gotham's going to be airing on like TNT and FX, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Because the show's going to get picked up by other places, but they're canceling it now because Disney would have the rights if the show continued.
Right.
Because they're buying out Fox. But I'm really digging the season. I think it's phenomenal.
Okay. Steven Torres, SAT UK 90 on Twitter.
Okay.
Asks, what are you hoping for in Titans Season 2? Will we see a Titans Finest episode version of World's Finest with Superboy and Nightwing?
Ooh.
That would be really cool.
Love that.
You saw the Superboy thing, right?
Yes, the teaser. Okay. Yeah, of course.
I can only assume that guy is not going to be the actual actor for Superboy.
Nope, they said stunt double.
Okay, good, because his thighs are like 4 feet wide individually. Yeah. That dude looked like 1980s or 1970s rather bodybuilder Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he was like 5'8".
Yeah, luckily they already confirmed that he is.
Yeah.
That's just a stunt double they used. But I like the fact they're doing crypto. But that idea of a World's Finest type thing, because they already kind of did that a little bit or teased it with Batwoman and Supergirl in the crossover.
A little, yeah.
Elseworlds.
But and yeah, I'm very excited for crypto.
But what I hope now, I've been hearing that Deathstroke and Ravager are going to be in Titan Season 2.
Okay.
Which
that
is
would be cool.
Yeah.
So Ravager, Rose Wilson, Deathstroke's daughter, is traditionally, I believe she kind of starts out a bit of a villain.
Yeah.
But then changes her ways and joins the Titans. That'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
Because the only other version of that character, or versions we've gotten, are that, well, outside the comics, I mean, are that really bizarre, big-headed, half-mask version that we saw on Arrow.
Well, it
wasn't even his daughter.
No, but like that was their spin on it, I guess.
And then the shitty Punchline version in Teen Titans Go, which I don't think you've probably never seen.
No.
So
Jesus Christ, the cough.
Yeah, I'd be very excited to see. Wow, look at that spike.
Yeah, anyways, it spikes like that whenever you cough.
I would really like to see a version of Ravager.
Yeah.
Ravager. In Season 2. And as we talked about a little bit, I want these characters to become fully realized
just become a team
as who they
like
are.
It's the team, and they're the individuals. Now I see that other one. That looks pretty interesting.
Unpopular opinion: X-Men Last Stand is actually good.
By Luffy Snake Man.
Yeah.
Luffy1909 on Twitter.
False.
Well, look, you have look at that spike. Look at that spike. Jesus on there. But I remember seeing X-Men The Last Stand. Oh God. Yeah, you literally are dying.
Yep.
We gotta wrap this thing up soon, or else he's gonna die. I remember seeing X-Men The Last Stand in the theaters, and I grew up on those movies.
Yep.
So for me at the time, I enjoyed it. Going back on it, holy Jesus, did Brett Ratner really destroyed it. What I love is that they brought back the original cast for X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh, there's some news.
And then X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. Didn't really do anything. And now Dark Phoenix sounds like a dumpster fire.
It sounds like, yeah.
Dark Phoenix sounds like apparently the Fox executives are panicking over that.
Oh, for sure.
They're panicking over the results of that movie, and so they don't know what they're gonna do.
X-Men: The Last Stand,
not good.
Bizarrely, is not the worst X-Men movie.
Which one is?
Wolverine Origins.
Oh, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't really. Would you count that as an X-Men movie though?
It's got X-Men in the title.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
Why did they just call it Wolverine? X-Men maybe the thought process was they're going to do X-Men Origins Storm, X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I believe the plan was to do Wolverine, then they were going to do a Gambit Origins movie with what's his name that was Gambit in Wolverine?
Oh, Taylor. I forget.
Yeah.
But Channing Tatum.
Too big.
I'm saying Channing Tatum for the longest time.
Yeah.
At one point, he was considering directing it himself because everyone kept leaving the project. It's because it's Gambit, dude.
Yeah,
no one wants a Gambit. Nobody.
But I will say, I know enough about Gambit to know that Channing Tatum is a poor choice. Because Gambit is a very tall, lanky, thin man.
Yep.
From Nolans.
Yep.
Just wouldn't have worked. Imagine Channing Tatum in that weird little face sock thing that Gambit wears.
It would have been. They would have changed that.
Probably, but it wouldn't have worked.
Thank God Marvel's getting it back.
Right.
Just at this point, thank God. Anything else?
Let's see here. Who do we think the main villain of Arrow Season 7 will be? Ricardo Diaz, Stanley Dover. What is the Ninth Circle?
Oh, that's something teased with Dante.
Okay.
That painting or whatever.
Oh, right.
Or another character
entirely.
I don't think there's a main villain.
I don't think there really is a main villain. I think they've kind of
just been coasting with different villains.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with Season 7 has been the fact the Longbow Hunters don't fucking matter.
They don't matter.
They tease them at the end of Season 6, they bring them in, and they don't matter.
They have the coolest fucking name for the lamest fucking supervillains.
They don't do anything.
They don't do anything. And they don't use bows. God.
And it's like they bring them in. Well, the Longbow Hunters always use different weapons in the comics. But my issue is that they were there for a couple episodes, and then it's like before we even get to the crossover, which is last year, they just disappeared.
But they were teased last season, right?
Yeah.
In a show called Arrow, you say, oh, there are these assassins called the Longbow Hunters. What do you immediately picture? Okay, 3 ninjas perched up on rooftops who are better archers than Oliver, fucking his day up. That would have been awesome. I would have loved
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they bring them in and they don't do anything.
Right.
They gave you that cough, but they didn't do anything for the show. But that's my one. But I don't think there's really is a main villain.
Yeah.
Stanley can't be a main villain because
he's been captured unless he breaks out again. But
but I think
speaking of Stanley, Jesus Christ, that performance was amazing.
He literally had creepy eyes.
Yeah. I mean, that dude had to monologue for 5 minutes straight. He was great.
Just like you at the end of the Yeah, the monologue. But yeah, his face was insane. Insane. But yeah.
And, I don't think there really is going to be one big villain. I think maybe a group of villains might come together by the end of it.
Maybe.
Because they're clearly building up Diaz to do something with him and with the...
Because he's still alive, yeah.
Yeah, the ghost... I hate this naming thing where
they can't call it
Suicide Squad anymore.
The Ghost
and you know
Initiative or Protocol.
I would have been fine with it, but just because you're self-referential about things like that doesn't make it good. It doesn't make it okay. So like when Curtis is like, "Oh, the Ghost Protocol, that's just another name for Sue," and then Curtis, no.
Like the way I wish that was recorded on camera because he flipped his hands like a ninja, like Curtis, no. He like throws like chopping hands, like literally
like Diggle might as well have slapped him as soon as the syllable Sue came out of his mouth.
As soon as he said Sue, Diggle should have done a somersault over the table and drop kicked him.
Butterfly kicked him in the back.
And then when he's on the ground, and all of a sudden Dwayne the Rock Johnson shows up and gives him the rock bottom.
Dwayne for the rock bottom from the top of a skyscraper.
Exactly, because fucking Curtis was the Suicide Squad.
And Diggle should have just like grabbed him by the face and been like, "It's called the Ghost Protocol."
You stupid fuck. Now you're leaving the show. By the way, he's gone.
That was fucking sudden.
I predicted.
Yeah.
In that episode, I'm like, okay, Curtis is going, he's going to leave the next episode.
Right.
Because he's just saying it,
and then he's going to
leave.
He was leaving. I had no idea that.
No one did. But, I thought the way they set it up with him saying bye to Diggle,
right,
waving at Renee, and then hugging Felicity, clearly it's setting up he's going away. In the next episode, he's going to have a proper goodbye to everybody. That was his exit.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Done.
And you saw, I don't know why, because pretty much every other time a character has left one of these CW shows, you knew it way in advance.
Not this time.
And I saw Echo Kellum, the actor for Curtis, post on Twitter this long thing, and he was like, "Well, now that you all know, I can finally say goodbye."
Yeah, but the thing was, it was never hinted at. Yeah. No one knew he was leaving until the episode aired.
I guess technically they were building it up with the tension between him and Diggle and Argus, but
it didn't feel like to the point where he was leaving.
I was just expecting him to quit Argus and do something else, but
yeah, and the fact that he finally got access to being a vigilante again,
right,
working with a team, he leaves after one day.
And then Diggle, and this is a writing thing. Why even bother writing in that bit where Diggle offers him a different job? That went nowhere. That was pointless.
Yeah, just him saying no.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You're pretty much dead. So
yeah, my voice is starting to go a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're gonna take a break and look at that script.
Oh God!
Look at that script.
I'll check again real quick. Make sure there are no new questions.
No new questions.
No questions. Hang on.
Loading up the Twitter, boy. There you go. Let's click on me, boy.
Oh, wait.
Let's see.
What are our thoughts on the future of the DCEU, and what would you do with the universe if you were in charge?
Well, we've already kind of covered this about
a little bit, yeah.
I mean, I would just more individual films setting up Justice League.
I'm hopeful
that with Aquaman's success
for the future.
Shazam,
or I should say, soapful.
Well, Aquaman was successful. Shazam's coming out. They're doing a Joker spinoff, which has no connection.
You guys can't see my face, but I regret that joke.
Oh my God.
So much.
But Aquaman performed over $1 billion.
Yep.
Shazam's coming out. They're doing a Joker film which has no connection,
which I'm very excited for. I didn't like his look at first.
Yeah.
It was very jarring to me, but the more I've seen of this, more set photos, teaser footage, all that, I'm pretty excited for it, because Joaquin Phoenix is pretty much great in everything he does. Even if he's in a bad movie, he's still good in that bad movie. I'm excited for that.
I'm personally not interested.
No,
I'm not. But for me, it's like it looks like they're going in the direction they should have, which is individual films.
Wonder Woman 84 is definitely going to break $1 billion, I'd say.
I would say, yeah. And Birds of Prey, even though it has Harley Quinn, it has a couple of, it has Huntress, their own Black Canary, a Black Mask.
I'm excited to finally see Cassandra Cain in something.
So like they're doing
anything.
They're doing team ups, but they're not doing Justice League, which I don't think they need to touch yet.
I really hope they're still going to do a Green Lantern movie at some point.
They have to.
They have to.
They have to. I mean, if they don't, what's the point?
Green Lantern was supposed to come out next year, right?
Yeah.
And just nothing.
Apparently they're still working.
Yeah.
Who knows? But we're supposed to get a Batman movie.
Yep.
Supposed to be getting Suicide Squad 2 in 2021. So things are...
It's all but confirmed, pretty much, that Henry Cavill is not Superman anymore.
It's not confirmed, but looks like it's out.
So
he's out.
Maybe we'll get a new, fresh take on Superman.
Supergirl looks like they're going Supergirl.
Hopefully.
Yeah, they're going Supergirl though. Unfortunately.
Well, they were planning.
It seems.
Oh yeah.
A report came out that the Superman's being pushed to the side for Supergirl.
Supposedly they've been planning that since the beginning, though, because you see, in the ship where Superman gets his suit in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
You see all the dead Kryptonians in their pods, but one pod is open and empty.
Yeah.
That was supposedly Supergirl's pod.
Yeah, Kara.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which I guess would mean that instead of being his cousin, she's like his great whatever, and he's a descendant.
Who knows?
But whatever.
But yeah, there you have it.
Yeah.
The second episode, limited issues, the cough edition. Can't end without a cough. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you very much for listening.
It's been fun, and yeah.
Assuming I'm still alive in 2 weeks, we'll actually... Oh, that was another question. From, sorry, I believe it was... Yeah, Carl Johnson. Any tips on how to make and keep up a schedule? No.
Don't get sick.
Because we were supposed to record this last week.
Yep.
So, clearly we can't help you.
Nope. Anyways, thank you for listening.
Right.
We're going to try our best to keep a schedule, but
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.